Hi friend, this is Matthew Hamill with Modern Kitchen Pros, and in this video we're going to discuss how to design an IKEA kitchen. We see homeowners that try to design these things all the time and they make the same mistakes over and over and over again, so we want to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing, especially if you're going to try to do it yourself. Now if you want to hire somebody, you probably don't need this video unless you want to make sure that they're doing it correctly, right? But yeah, we do a little over 200 IKEA kitchens a year. We design probably 75% of those things, so we know a lot about how an IKEA kitchen is supposed to function and fit together. So right now, I've got our appliances in place. So this is my refrigerator. It's a counter depth French door refrigerator. This is a 30-inch range, and then this is a 24-inch dishwasher. Standard dishwasher, standard range, pretty much standard fridge. And you can see in the 3D view, this is how we're looking so far, right? We've got our window in place, and our appliances are just kind of sitting there waiting for some cabinets. So let's go back, and we're going to start with, so we have our window. You always want to start with the sink, right? That's the first place you want to go, because you want to have that thing centered on the window. Now, I've seen a lot of homeowners start from the corner and work their way this way. It's just a bad idea. Don't do it. Start with the sink on the centered on the window, so that way you can work your way out and you don't have to worry about your faucet being to the left or to the right of the sink, or of the window rather. So we're going to do a sink base with a full height door, so no false front. We're going to do a 36-inch sink and none. There we go. Perfect. So that's in place. And you can see that that's in place there. So now this is already, we'll just make sure that it's centered. I don't know why this thing is giving me such a hard time. We're going to make sure this thing is centered. Perfect. So we're dead center on the window. Great. So now I'm going to save it. And if you're using the IKEA planner, my software is pissing me off right now, but if you're using the IKEA planner, you really want to save as much as you possibly can, because that thing is very unreliable, very unstable. It's an internet-based CAD software that a ton of people are using, and it takes a ton of processing power, a ton of server power. So save, and save some more. Can't say that enough. So we have our refrigerator in place. We're going to keep it right over here. So if you want to give it that built-in look, right, you need some paneling. So now IKEA sells a 3x8 panel, and that's the one you want. You're going to run it from floor to ceiling, or you'll run it from floor to the top of the cabinet above the fridge, and you'll just rip the panel down to fit. So we're going to drop a panel in here, put it right up against the fridge. Actually, I'm going to pull it off a little bit, and I'm going to cut it down to 94.5 inches. And the reason I do that is because IKEA's tallest pantry cabinet with the legs on at standard height is 94.5 inches. So we do that to match that height. And then that's kind of where the rest of your cabinets should sit. So we're going to go to our elevation. So range, refrigerator. I'm going to add the fridge cabinet right now, because a fridge is not a true 36. It's always just shy. And I'll show you this one. I think it's like 35 and 13/16. Ah, I lied. It is 36 exactly. Somebody lied to me. Anywho, it's never 36, and you want to make sure that you have your cabinet in place first before you put your appliances underneath. So we're going to do a 20-inch refrigerator cabinet, and I actually have to change the height on this one. It's good there. And by the way, if you're wondering what software I'm using, this is 2020. Let's see. So I actually want this thing over here. Now, IKEA's software, fun fact, is actually a light version of this software. So just keep that in mind. Yep, panels the right thickness. Okay, perfect. So it will look a little similar. Yeah, just a fun fact for you. Cool. So now we've got our refrigerator in place. I'm going to save it. And we've got our fridge cabinet in place. The 3D view, you can see, hey, look, my fridge is all nice and built in. Let it render for a sec. You can see the panels going down. We will be putting a piece of filler up here to kind of fill that gap, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So let's get back to it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some drawer cabinets to where my cooktop is. So I'm going to do a 3-drawer base, and we're going to do 18 inches wide. Move my range over here. Duplicate 18 inches wide. Perfect. And then I'm going to add a corner cabinet. And we're going to use the 47-inch wide corner with the pull-out shelves. And let me find that guy real quick. Drop this in here. Perfect. I'm just going to change it to size. Cool. So 47 inches. So now here's one of the problems that people run into right here, right? So these base cabinets, and you're going to see why I'm going to do this in a second. So you want to put a side panel right here and right here between these base cabinets. I'll show you the elevation. It's going to be right here and on the left side of this guy, right? So, and I'm going to show you why in a second. It has to do with the microwave. It has nothing to do with the range. So we're going to grab the panel. Now here's something else you need to consider. The tall panels, the 3x8s, they're 5/8 of an inch thick. The base panels and the wall panels are 1/2 an inch thick. So keep that in mind as well, especially if you want really accurate, a really accurate kitchen. So we're gonna do, yeah, let me find my panel, base panel. So I'm gonna drop one here, change it to 1/2 an inch. Okay, so we're good there. Let me duplicate this. Slide that guy over there. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna save it. So now you can see that we have our range wall. It's coming together real nice, right? We're getting there. Alright, so let's get back to it. Okay, so now we want to match our cabinets, our wall cabinets, with our base cabinets. So we have an 18-inch 3-drawer base. Well, we want an 18-inch wall cabinet above it. So I'm going to add a wall cabinet. I need to change this because IKEA's wall cabinets are 15 inches deep, not 12, and they're 40 inches high, not 42. So we've got that. I'm going to duplicate that, and we're going to leave that guy there. Okay, so here's what gets tricky, and this is why I put the base panels down here. Move this up. So we're going to put a microwave cabinet here, right? Well, the microwave, before you do that, you have to know that IKEA's cabinets on the side, on all the sides, right, they're white. So IKEA doesn't carry this color cabinet, but essentially you'd have the door with its color. Let's say you're doing this color, but the side is unfinished. It's melamine white. It's plain. So what IKEA does is they sell finish panels that attach to the side of these cabinets that give it a complete finished look. Now, when you're doing a microwave, you want to add the finished panels and have them go right up against the microwave. But what happens is if you don't accommodate for that on the bottom, it throws off the measurements by an inch. So your microwave would be to the left or to the right of your range unless you matched everything, panels on the bottom and panels on the top. And you may say, you know, I don't need panels on the top because my microwave is going to come all the way down. It does not happen all the time. It depends on the size of cabinet you put in up here. So we do it as a precaution just to make sure that everything lines up. I'm a sucker for symmetry, and if it's off, it drives me absolutely crazy, and that's why we do it. So here we go, wall panel, and let's see, so I'm going to drop one here. I got to change the measurements on it. Wall panels are 1/2 inch, remember. And we're going to keep this one at 42, and I'll show you why in a second. 15 inches deep. And duplicate, throw in here. And I think that's it right now. Yeah, so we're good. We'll move them up. Move them up. Now when you add the panels, you won't have to move them up in IKEA software. This is my software, so it's just a little bit different. But yeah, you're going to see that they hang down a little bit. And the reason why they do is because it gives something for the bottom molding to die into. So there's a molding that attaches to the bottom of the cabinets. And unless you want to miter the corner and run that molding back to the back of the wall, you can have a clean, simple cut and have the molding end where the panel is. So we're going to drop in our microwave cabinet now. I'm going to do a 30. Perfect. And it's a 20-inch high, and the depth is 15. So now that we have the microwave cabinet, you can see why we put the panels on the bottom to make sure everything is lined up. So now this is dead center, right, with this one, panel to panel. Look, if we didn't have these panels here on either side of the range would go all the way up to this cabinet, all the way up to this cabinet, and now you can see where it would be off center with the microwave. So that's why we do it. So now everything is perfectly lined up. So now we're going to add this wall corner cabinet, and I want to do the diagonal one with the Susan. Which wall is that one? Side, perfect. So IKEA's is 26. It's 15 deep. And I'm going to change one more little thing on here. Dimensions, width number 2 is 26. Okay. Perfect. So you got a little piece of filler here that you got to put in. No big deal. And let's make sure we get this guy up. So now if things don't fit perfectly, right, always know that there's filler and panels, and a lot of things eat up a lot of space. So, and putting in a filler is nothing. It's very simple to do. So, right here, we're just going to add a quick wall filler. And IKEA has them in their catalog on their planner, and it's under fillers. So let's just grab that. Do 40 inches. 15. So now we have a nice solid wall of cabinets. Let's take a look at our 3D. There we go. I need to change the handle on that one. Save it again. And here we are in 3D. We're getting there. Getting very close. So, and thanks for sticking with me. I know this is a long video, but if you want to learn how to do it, this is exactly how you do it. So, let's do this. Now we can add some more base cabinets. So, right here we can add a trash pullout, or we can add a set of drawers, 24 inches. I think I'm going to do, let's do the trash. Full height door. Drop that guy there. Now this thing, I can pull it a little bit. Perfect, there we go. So now I don't have any filler here. I just have a small filler that's gonna go right here. So we're good. Change the handle placement. Oh, come on, here we go. Center top horizontal, perfect. So now it's a trash pull out. And this thing, you can fit quite a few trash cans in here. It's great to have. And the reason why I put it over here is because more than likely this is going to be your prep space. Like, this is going to be your drop-off space, countertop space. This is going to be your prep space because you're right in between the sink and the range. So it's nice to be able to throw scraps or packaging or anything else in the trash right here in your prep space. So now, let's see what we got here. So we're at 48 inches. Nice. So we can do, actually we're not going to use up all the 48. We are going to, and the reason for that is because the countertop comes off the edge 1.5 inches, and if this is all the space you have, well, you can't come off 1.5 inches off this wall. So we have to cut it a little short so the countertop finishes before the edge of this wall. And let's see what we got here. So I think I'm going to do a 30 and a 15. I'm going to do some deep drawers. Do a 30. Perfect. And we're going to do a 15. You know, let's do a 15-inch 3 drawer. Perfect. Like that. So we're good there. Now again, this base cabinet is unfinished, so we need a base panel. So you would go into your settings, and I'll put together another video, or I'll actually add. We'll see how it goes. But I'll give you access to a video that shows you like how to access all the finished panels, so you make sure you don't miss anything. So now we have our finished panel here. We're good. So our bases are complete right now. So now we need to finish up these wall cabinets. So from my distance here, I have 36 inches left. So I'm going to do a 30-inch cabinet, and that'll give me a 3-inch reveal on the window. A lot of people think they can just throw cabinets up to the window. It's not a good idea at all. It makes your kitchen feel cramped. So we're going to throw in a 30-inch wall cabinet. Gotta make some adjustments. So 40, 15. Perfect. So now I need a finished panel for that guy. So I'm actually just going to duplicate it here. Perfect. So now, to make sure I have an even reveal, from the panel to this is 6 1/8 of an inch. Actually a great reveal, so that works perfectly. So I'm going to duplicate this panel over here, and we're going to pull it off the wall. So that looks like it's 62 1/8. And always have a calculator handy when you're doing this. I do all the time, and I do hundreds of these things. 0.125 minus 6.125. So 56. Perfect. So now I should have an even reveal. 6 1/8. 6 1/8. Nice. Delete that. Delete that. Cool. So now we're going to measure from there to the end of this cabinet. So we have 53 inches left. So I go from here to this cabinet, 38 inches. So let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to actually duplicate this guy. So it's a 30-inch cabinet. And I think I'm going to make it a 36. Instead, I'm going to drag it over here. And the reason why I'm doing that is this dishwasher makes things tough, and the reveal, right? We want the even reveal. But now, at least one of the doors from the 36-inch cabinet will actually match the width of the base cabinet right here at the end, so it looks like there's a little bit more symmetry there. So let's see how much space we have left now. I've got 17 inches. What a bummer. So looks like we're not keeping this lined up here. We're gonna actually pull everything over a bit. So we're going to, I'm gonna duplicate this cabinet. I'm gonna get a 15. And this is just sometimes what you have to do. So it's better to have the reveal on the window match than it is to have this side match. So it's better to have these come back a little bit. It's just a much better look. So, and I'm glad this happened, so you guys can see it. And it still looks pretty good. So now I'm going to save this, and our kitchen is almost done. So let's take a look at our 3D version. Look at that, we're getting there. I got to raise these cabinets, obviously, but you can see we're getting there. So I'm going to go back to my elevation. There we go. Cool. So we got all our side panels in place, and now we just need one filler for right here. So we're going to add that. Let's see. Of course I can, guy. Come on. There we go. So got my filler there, filler's up there, everything's good. So now I'm going to add my molding. So my top molding, my bottom molding, and my toe kick. So now you can see at the top of these cabinets, it's just the cabinet, right? And underneath here, where the panels are coming down a little bit further, you can see there's nothing there, and then obviously we have nothing on the toe kicks. So those are the last couple of things we need, and then this kitchen is complete. So, moldings. And we're going to drop this guy here. Now it's a little bit easier adding the molding on IKEA's stuff. Once you set the molding to one cabinet, it'll start duplicating it for the rest of the cabinets. So it makes it a little bit easier. So we got all of our top molding on. Now we're going to do our bottom molding. And you're going to see how that bottom molding dies into those panels, and it looks really nice. Perfect. And then we're going to add our toe kicks. There it is. Very cool. So now we have a completed cabinet layout for an IKEA kitchen, and now you can see that under here the molding finishes off that gap real nice. You've got the molding that takes the cabinets to the ceiling. Everything is dead center. I actually want to show you the microwave real quick, how that's going to look. Let me drop that in. I'm surprised my computer hasn't crashed yet. Let's see. over the range microwave. Perfect. Save it. And there you have it. And so you can see that this microwave doesn't come all the way down, and normally over a range you don't want that. Typical backsplash space for a countertop, like above a countertop, is 18 inches. So from the top of the countertop to the bottom of the upper cabinet, it's 18-inch space. But when you're cooking, it's kind of tough to fit some pots, especially big stock pots, on a range without having the microwave a little bit higher. So that's why we kept it up that high, but that's why we also had the finish panels in here, so you don't see any of the white. Especially if you're doing a contrasting color, you don't want to see the white under here, so it just finishes it off completely. So yeah, I hope you got some value out of that. If you have any questions about designing your own IKEA kitchen, leave them in the comment section below the video. And if you said, you know what, great, I'm glad I know how to do it now, but I still don't want to do this, can you help me? We'd be more than happy to help you plan your kitchen. Just simply click the link below this video, and you'll just email over your dimensions and a few photos, and we'll have a quick phone call with you, and then we can plan your kitchen for you, build out the IKEA shopping list for you, all that fun stuff. So I hope you got some value from this video. Again, thanks so much for watching. This is Matt Hamill with Modern Kitchen Pros, and I hope you have an amazing day.